Feeling a little bit under the weather, hence the crazy get up this morning, but we are going to be looking at some fake DJ clips. They say laughter is the best medicine, so hopefully we've got something to laugh at here. Let's get into the first clip. Oh. Now, I tell you what, like, and he's bragging to his mate, like, I don't know what I'm doing. See, this is a very extreme version of something that I think all DJs deep down have been guilty of at least once, right? And that is making yourself busier, making yourself look busier than you actually are. I know I'm guilty of it sometimes, you know, the EQ knobs. I just want to touch something, man. I just want to touch something. Now, don't get me wrong, I do make a lot of adjustments with the EQs, but sometimes, you know, I just, you know, my hands, I'm like, what do I do with my hands? Now, if you've seen the video of me reacting to Boiler Room clips, the first clip we looked at was Solomon, and he was not doing that. He was having a glass of wine, having a boogie, job done. He wasn't feeling the need to touch any buttons or, you know, touch any knobs or anything like that on the mixer. So I think we could all learn a lot from Solomon here, but this is a very extreme version of that. This is a guy who's just like, I need to look like I'm doing something. It's just like, yeah, wild. Yeah, hands up in the air. He might just be friends with the DJ. Who knows? Oh, man. It's even worse in slow motion. Literally not touching anything. Like, it's wild as well, because if you can't see the decks, you're assuming that he's doing something. But that in slow motion is just highlighted exactly how little he is doing. Like, not even how little. He's doing nothing. Mate just looking over like, what are you doing, man? Leave the actual DJing to me, buddy. Oh, he's embarrassed, you can tell. Here we go. Oh, well, first of all, let's talk about the fact the CDJs haven't got anything loaded into them. Especially not on channels 2 and 3. So I am confused because there is signal coming through the mixer though. There's also some signal coming through number 1 as well. So what's the crack here? But completely, like everything that this DJ is doing is completely that'll be why. So there's a laptop connected, right? So the music is coming through on a laptop. I'm assuming through channel 2 because that's the one that the fader's consistently up on. All the EQs are right. I mean, the EQs are all over the place on that mixer. All over the place. That is crazy. Got 2 faders up at the moment, but I mean, what? I need to go back and check that again because it's just absolutely bizarre. I don't want to assume. I mean, we're looking at fake DJs today, but I don't want to assume that she's not doing anything, you know? Yeah, because now fader 2 is down, but there's signal coming through the mixer. This clip has absolutely confused me. The EQs are all over the place, one. The CDJs don't seem to have anything loaded, but there is a laptop connected. So maybe that's why the waveforms aren't shown on the screen. I don't really know. This is more confusing than anything else. But also, okay, she's clearly not doing anything. Because, you know, she's pulling faders up, pulling faders down, and it's having no consequence on the actual music itself. So, yeah, this is definitely a fake DJ situation. Okay, actually, I think that this guy is trolling because I don't know what that kit is, but he's clearly not doing anything. It looks like is it a wah-wah pedal? I'm very confused. And it's not plugged in, obviously. So this guy's trolling. This guy's just taking the mick, I think. Yeah. Hey, what a legend. Literally, like, being a DJ, sometimes it is a joke. So we've got to have a little bit of a sense of humour and take the mick out of ourselves, you know. Oh, here we go. Bit of hardstyle at Tomorrowland, I'm assuming. Oh. Oh, similar to our friend from earlier. Similar to our friend from earlier, doing a whole lot of nothing. I think he just pressed the headphone cue button a couple of times and waved his hands, and all of a sudden we're going into a build-up. Who knows what comes next? Okay, yeah, we've got slow motion this time. So yeah, headphone cue, touched the fader but didn't do anything. On the EQs, didn't do anything. Doing something with the fader but not doing anything. Pulling the trim up apparently, but pulling it straight back down again. Oh my days, yeah, that is diabolical. Oh, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Hot EQ hands. Like, all of that. I think every DJ is guilty of it to some degree at some point, but this is a very extreme version of that. And also, this is this a MixMag in the lab? Yeah, it is. Lab LA. So, like, this is kind of similar to Boiler Room in as much as it's a very intimate setting. There'll be people right up by the decks. So to try and get away with basically not doing anything in front of people that close is wild. Yep. Here we go. Yeah, doing a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. That is crazy. That is crazy. And this guy in the front, this guy right here, is thinking, what the hell are we watching? Like, this person is doing absolutely jack shit. It is blowing my mind because this is such an intimate setting that you cannot get away with faking it. And yeah, I mean, everyone seems to be looking at the decks and looking at what they're doing. I don't know who this DJ is, but that's a bold move, trying to fake it that close to people. Oh, you know, what is it about Ultra and Tomorrowland and, you know, these big festivals where, like, look, I'm not being funny, yeah, like, there are a lot of talented DJs out there, a lot of talented producers who would kill to be on that stage, but you've got these talentless pigs that are taking these big slots on the main stage that can't do it. Now, I don't know whether it's the fact that they can't do it or that the scale of Ultra and Tomorrowland doesn't allow for much movement in terms of the actual performance. Like, because obviously you got the lighting, you got the pyro, you got everything has to be in sync, right, to create the best show possible. Or at least that's probably what they're thinking. However, it leads to clips like this where you're clearly getting called out for being a fake DJ. I don't know. It blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. This, oh man, like, moving like, you know, what is it, Naruto, or, I don't know, like, just doing so much with the hands, but so little at the same time. This is why people think that what we do is a joke. Because when you see it on the greatest, like, stages and the grandest scale, it is a joke. Like, this is wild. I'm doing this while I'm not feeling great, and it's making me feel worse, to be honest, but, hey, we move. I mean, what's he covering up the colour effects for? The beat effects, sorry. Does he not want anyone to know that he's not doing anything? Right, straight away, I'm not going to have a bad word said about Laidback Luke. He is legit. He is an absolute gangster behind the decks. But it's made it into the fake DJs compilation, so who knows? Maybe he's also a victim of the Ultra / Tomorrowland curse where you have to basically pretend that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Steve Aoki, on the other hand, I'm not sure about his abilities as a DJ. Just for a bit of context, I went to see Steve Aoki once, and he didn't touch the decks once. He was on a trampoline, he had cake in his hand. I didn't see him do a single transition. Spent all night on the mic rather than the mixer. So already I don't have a lot of faith. However, he's in the position he's in for a reason. So, like, let's see where this goes anyway. Yeah, again, this is what I mean. Just, like, touching things for no reason. We all do it. We all do it. Yeah, even Steve Aoki is getting in on the action. What could he possibly be touching? What could Steve Aoki possibly be touching other than loading a new tune up? Oh, see, like, one thing I will say is it tends to be the EDM, like the European and Americans, that you see this, right? You don't get much of this in... actually, no, that's not fair to say for Europeans, because there's a lot of talented people across Europe that don't do this, but it's the EDM world, right? You don't tend to see this in more underground, like, venues and events and stuff like that with underground DJs. It's always the super commercialized, big EDM people that you see these clips of. And I don't get it. Like, I just don't understand it, because I know Laidback Luke is a very talented DJ, but for whatever reason, he's kind of feeding into it at the moment. But anyway, I can't hate Laidback Luke because he's an absolute G. Yeah, just doing a whole lot of nothing.
And just like that,
damn, he must
DJ,
be sweating.
living the dream. People were dancing away, feeding me drinks, having a great time, and all I was doing was playing Aviva's finest hold music. What I didn't realise, though, was that there wasn't actually that much for me to do, as I'd already press play. Luckily, I brought some Scrabble, caught up on some laundry.
Oh, I love that. Again, just taking the mick out of what we do, really. But I suppose for a lot of people, this is probably the reality. Yeah, crikey. I'd love to know who this dude is and where he's playing, though, because just pressing play, he's probably getting away with it. Yeah, it looks like the booth is tucked away so people can't see what he's doing. So why not do your laundry, mate? Why not?
And did some reading.
That is so jokes. Okay, and that's about it. Right, guys, fake DJs. I mean... Listen, there are some legit people in there, though. That's the thing. There are some legit people on legit stages. And, you know, how do we feel about it? Because at the end of the day, this is... it's a problem, right? It's an absolute problem. I don't know. I can't see this style of DJing going anywhere anytime soon because there is such a demand for it. You saw the size of the stages. You saw the size of the crowds. And yeah, I understand. Like, I think that James Hype and Deadmau5 recently commented on, like, you know, music festivals like Ultra because of the scale. Like, Deadmau5 was saying you have to do a pre-recorded mix. James Hype was saying, well, no, that's not the case. I don't do that kind of thing. So, I don't know. Maybe there'll be more conversations about the whole fake DJ and, like, you know, the scale of the events and stuff later down the line. But for now, what do you guys think about fake DJs? Is there a place for them? I think absolutely not. However, I don't think that most of these people are fake DJs. I think that maybe they have been forced to play pre-recorded sets because of the scale of the events and stuff like that. But let me know if you think I'm right or wrong. And let me know what you want me to react to in future videos as well. The best way to do that is to follow me on Instagram at Zurra Music. Head to my bio and click the link to join my community, the Zoo Crew. I always prioritize the Zoo Crew's topics for conversation. And yeah, if you've got anything that you want me to react to, that's the best place to send suggestions over. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.